want to criminalize us with metal detectors, we'll see you at your house. We'll murder you.
Hey folks, how you doing? Well, I hope you're doing better than this girl who now has 16 felony counts for a direct threat to the City Council of Bakersfield, California. Well, you know, I think Bakersfield, is what I heard, is one of the few kind of conservative bastions left in California. And guess what? They did the right thing. Let's just clump these folks into one little group here. The Antifa, the BLM, the Pro-Hamas, whatever. The activist amalgam. And they're usually composed of these nut jobs right here. Riddhi Patel, I think is her name. As you saw at the first. We'll go into that a little more here. But, yeah, so words like, we'll see you at your house, we'll off you. Let's just say that for the YouTube algorithm. Pro-Hamas nut job threatens city council. Yeah, so this was instant regret and instant karma. We will see more of this video too, because her statement's at the first. And then right as soon as she sits down, the mayor or the one of the city council members goes, yes, the police are coming to escort you. And now you're pummeled with 16 felony counts. So leftist activist and inspirational lover of man delivered an impassioned, intelligent, and well-reasoned message to the City Council of Bakersfield, California, as we saw. Her poignant comments included these oratory masterpieces. You guys are all horrible human beings, and Jesus probably would have killed you himself. I hope one day somebody brings the guillotine and kills all you mother effers. We'll see you at your house, we'll off you. But you can see the word is this word. Here's an idea. Just blue skying it here. Don't make death threats. This is my first suggestion to a young person too. Is she decided here. I'm very young. I'm incredibly stupid. So what I'm going to do is I can take the hard road to learn life's lessons, or I can attempt to deliberately take the easier road to learn some of these lessons in life as I get older. Can we avoid all problems? No. Can we avoid suffering and difficulties? Not all the time. But certainly, we don't have to make a deliberate attempt to bring them down upon ourselves. She has decided to take the hard road here. So, yeah, here's the full speech, and it's so sweet and tender. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
Hi there, my name is Riddhi Patel. I'm here to speak in support of the City Council introducing a ceasefire resolution, specifically the one United Liberation Front has drafted. I don't have faith that you'll do this. You guys are all horrible human beings, and Jesus probably would have killed you himself. And the thing is, though, it's very clear to me as someone who's been an organizer for the past couple of years that none of you care, because you guys don't care about anything happening in Palestine or any other country where oppression occurs, because you don't care about the oppression occurring here. And I understand that you guys are all horrible people, but the thing is, 2,300 people being evicted in the last year, those are votes. And you guys, those are votes to win here in Bakersfield. And while you guys parade Gandhi around as a Hindu holiday called Chaitra Navratri starts off this week, I remind you that these holidays that we practice, that other people in the global south practice, believe in violent revolution against their oppressors. And I hope one day somebody brings the guillotine and kills all of you motherfuckers. The increased criminalization for no need other than you don't like when people come and hold you guys accountable for introducing ceasefire resolutions, because the only escalation in violence has been by you all, and so there's no need to continue. In the last 5 years I've attended city council meetings, there's never been metal detectors, there's never been more cops. The only reason you're doing it is because people actually don't care if you guys don't like them, and they're actually resisting, so you want to criminalize them. So regardless of whether you elect people into office, they'll backstab you, they'll let you die, and for that reason, you guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors, we'll see you at your house, we'll murder you.
Huh.
Next speaker, please. Lance, followed by Kev, followed by Valeria. Ms. Patel, that was a threat, what you said at the end, and so the officers are going to escort you out and take care of that.
You know what? I'll give these. I don't have a lot of respect for bureaucrats, but Mayor Karen Go, the Bakersfield mayor, she's the one here that said, "Yeah, the police will escort you out." I have to give her kudos for just being as chill as a cucumber and just taking care of this business. And you could tell too, when this chunky kid. Sweet as can be, surely. Just a little sweetheart. This little chunk, Patel, when she was sitting down, you could tell there was like 3 of her protester activist friends, and you could tell they're like, way to go, man, way to go. Here's the kicker, kids. Here's the kicker. Consequences. As I say ad nauseum, consequences and accountability really are the kryptonite of activists. Progressives, radicals, communists, Marxists, they're all lumped into, as I said, an amalgam of stupidity, okay? And that's just a nice way of saying it, okay? I'm trying to be subtle. So she is charged with 16 felonies and is being held on a $1 million bail. Now, I might have heard an update to that bail, but I'm not sure. So let's take a gander at these fun little charges here. Oh, man. Woo, taking the rough road. And I wonder if there's going to be an interview in 5 years where she gets out and they go, so did you learn? And perhaps she would have, because she seems like she has a really sweet little voice. And then she's like, I'm going to tear you apart. And so Satan certainly has done his work. Way to go. So the offense info here: threatens certain state officials, judges, number of counts. Yeah, she didn't get 2 or 3 counts. She got 16 counts in total. Number of counts, 8. Okay, this is just one of these offenses. Number of counts, 8. Date arrested. That was on the 10th, 5 days ago. Booking info. Bail amount, here it is, $1 million. Woo! Man, Reedy, what'd you do? Offense 2 of 2, threaten with intent to terrorize. Number of counts, 10. Bail amount, $1 million. Now, the reason this is so good to see is, here's the thing. I hope in my heart of hearts that Reedy changes her ways. She's very young, and she comes out the other side having learned a good lesson and has softened her heart towards humanity in general, because this is what you don't do. She has been pulled in by this cult, the cult of woke. So they'll jump from one cause to another. Remember, she's probably supports all the LGBTQ plus percentage point causes also. But remember, if you're pro-Hamas and pro-Palestine, remember, they like to delete those people. They like to delete the LGBTQ community. They like to do those things. That is wrong. We do not do that to the LGBTQ percentage. I'll make fun of LGBTQ, but you do not do those things. But remember, these are the same protesters that support 2 different groups that have opposing views, okay, on gender, male and female. And so, when I see things like Queers for Palestine, yet in this, that killed me the most was Queers for Palestine. Let's look it up. You'll see it right here. That's when I go, these people, there's nothing behind this. There's no real cause. It's just, let's steer you. You're a little unhinged. Let's steer you to the nearest, let's go. Queers for Palestine. Let's steer you to the next current thing, right? So here it is. It's this type of stuff. Queers for Palestine. Okay, so, and remember, look at the age group, the demographic, the age group. This makes a lot of sense right here. Very young. Very, very naive. Okay? And I'll say, were we all stupid at one time? Sure. We were all young. These kids are stupid. Okay? Love them, but they're stupid. And they're super naive, and they're being sucked into whatever the latest thing is. Because that's the way teenagers are. And but it's a direct contradiction of the desire of Hamas and Palestinians, which is they throw people off roofs who do these things. If you have man sex with another man, they're going to probably do something harsh to you. I'm just saying that's what they do. We don't do that here in the West. We shouldn't be doing anything like that, but that's what they do. And they are supporting a cause that is in direct contradiction to their desires and wants too. Sharia law has no respect for the LGBTQ community. So anyway, I digress. Let me get back to this. So she's gotten her charges and she has found out. So it says here it's about time somebody did something about violent leftists hiding behind the protests. I agree with that because how long did we sit there for at least, through the summer of love for St. George Floyd? Good heavens. A fentanyl addict who also went into an apartment dressed up as a cop, I think, and held a pregnant lady at gunpoint. Yeah, he was a true saint, wasn't he? And to whom they built statues, crappy statues, and then there was a lightning strike on a wall in Minneapolis where they painted St. Floyd, and it was just kind of God going, I'll let you do your thing, you'll learn, maybe some of you won't, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a little message here, a little communique. And I remember a lightning hit that wall and crumbled the whole thing. So this is the thing, is we watched Antifa, BLM, all those people during those that time, the Summer of Love, and continuing on for the next 2.5 years almost. Portland, Oregon, almost every single night for like 100 days. It was insane. Protests, fire bombings, all this stuff, horrible stuff. So we saw a lot of injustice at that time too. People who were involved in Chaz in Seattle, the autonomous zone, where 2 or 3 black men were killed within the first week of setting up the autonomous zone, the free love zone, right? And we saw a lot where these people would get arrested and they would be set free like an hour later. All their tools, implements, weapons probably given back to them. Stunning. And then getting more funding from probably Act Blue to continue to firebomb and go out there. And BLM as well. So we saw a lot of lack of accountability. And so this is why these kids continue to do this, because they don't know what fear looks like. They don't understand what it feels like. They've been online. They've been spouting their activism, whatever, saying horrible stuff. If she says this stuff out loud to city council members, imagine what she says online. Seriously. And the level of abuse that she spews. So, but they haven't done the whole reap what you sow thing. And this is a good example of finally we're seeing this in a place that's conservative, in a place that actually has some rule of law. It ain't perfect, but there's rule of law. The mayor said, "Oh, well, you're going to jail, sister," and she is. And she's getting hammered. $1 million bail. Yeah, there's no cash bail here. It's not going to happen unless I don't know. Maybe Act Blue will raise $1 million and get her out and try to get everybody pissed off again. So the last statement, John says, the last statement she said about we're coming to your houses, we'll off you, quote unquote, was absolutely a threat. The bar for free speech is Brandenburg versus Ohio, and that statement breaks the threshold. Good for the city council to take action. Yeah, that was a direct threat, for sure. Will anything actually come of this? Who knows? But she is sitting in a jail cell right now and going to be awfully miserable for the foreseeable future. She's an angry lunatic, yep. And her leftist friends abandoned her real quick, too. A local NBC affiliate reported that one of her fellow protesters threw Patel under the bus. I couldn't find the video for this, but these were the comments that the local NBC News reported on her friends, and I bet it was one of her friends that was sitting there in those seats who was smiling like, "Way to go, Rudy! You're taking it on. You're taking on the man." Okay? No, you're actually delivering comments that refer to terror and deletion of others, and this is where you went severely wrong. The comments of Reedy Patel were shocking. Now this is the activist friend. They immediately were like, no, that was bad. The comments of Reedy Patel were shocking. They in no way represent those of us who continue to come to city council to demand a ceasefire and an end to the genocide in Gaza. I ask that this does not distract anyone from our mission to end the genocide. Ceasefire now. Yeah, I know. They've been given that memo, haven't they? End the genocide, ceasefire now. Oh, the other memo that they don't like to say quite as much is from the river to the sea, right? The extermination of an entire race of people. Yeah, that's also there too. So LGBTQ, if you don't think these people don't also desire these same things for you, I would be seriously cautious. Because there's a reason there's not a lot of LGBTQ communities in the Middle East right now, because they usually do pretty awful things to those people. So I'm just saying you might want to be rooting for somebody else right now. Just a little tidbit. The Morning Spew says, bonus, she gets to toss that hideous top. Well, yeah, it is a pretty hideous dress. Wherever she is. Anyway. LOL, good point. All this over a pointless, non-binding resolution that's just petty virtue signaling. These people have been given far too long a leash. Good to see them being held accountable. I doubt anything comes of it, though, with the current DA structure in California and elsewhere. Yeah, we will see, because I know that, from the state down, that if you do something in a certain community too, I've seen. Like the AG of California will go after smaller communities for jailing somebody who's an activist or protester, a claimed protester activist. At this point, you have gone over into the area of being a terrorist. You have made terroristic threats. So that's where the activism ends, right there. Direct threats of life, to take your life, things like that. Yeah, you've crossed that line. Activism's over, kids. The game of activism is over. Put the boggle set away. Scattergories is over. Put the box away. And it's time for 16 felony counts and a $1 million bail. This imbecile got herself thrown in jail on severe charges because she was mad at city council in California for not making a meaningless statement about Israel's effort to wipe out Hamas terrorists. She is obviously indoctrinated by a bunch of other people. What did she expect? Netanyahu, we are going to continue our offensive against Hamas terrorists, but a city council in Bakersfield, California denounced us, so we're pulling our troops out and going home. Do you agree? Crazy leftists. And that's not how the world works. It's true. I'm just not sure how this applies to the Bakersfield City Council going there to demand ceasefire in Palestine and Israel. It's just seems a little kind of moot, Perhaps a finer point, but I do think these people should not be referred to as pro-Palestine protesters. They are out and out Hamas supporters. Terrorists that do not belong in this country, Patel, should be airdropped into India, parachute optional. I'm getting tired of that too. I'm like, if you come here from some other country and then you start making actual threats against the citizens of this country, yeah, you should be airdropped back and never come back, never be allowed to come back. But that's the opposite of actually what the like the Biden regime, these leftists want. They want people to come here, threaten the citizens, and oppress the citizens of their own country to create kind of a prison for the citizens. That's for another time, but it is the end goal. You have to give her credit. She did channel the spirit of Hamas rather well. The peace and love crowd is having a good one. Yeah. So the mayor done good on this one. Am I a fan of bureaucrats and these people? Not really a ton, but she did it right and she kept her cool. She's like, well, Officer so-and-so, could you come over and just take Reedy to the police station? So yeah, she's in big trouble now. So let's see. Oh, there she is again, yes. Consequences.
A public defender entered not guilty pleas on Patel's behalf to 8 counts of threatening a public official and 10 counts of making terroristic threats. She's due back in court.
Well, I'll tell you, do I feel some empathy? Perhaps a little, because she's learning a hard lesson. I mean, a hard lesson. Her friends should be ashamed, actually, too, because they also pushed her into this. They fueled this fire. So, but it is unfortunate if you make a threat, you make a deletion threat against people. This is what happens. You just, it's a no-go. So that's enough of that, I guess. But it really is instant. This is one of those few instances of instant karma, poetic justice, whatever you want to call it, because it was quick. The turnaround was quick. Now, if this would have been Seattle or Portland, she probably would have gotten an award and become like an emeritus alumni at University of Washington. But no, it's Bakersfield. People are it's actually kind of more of a town where people work, and most people actually go to their jobs, and they're not interested in any way in Antifa or BLM garbage, and they're not going to put up with it. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, folks. This is definitely Poetic Justice 101 that I've introduced you to, sponsored by Reedy Patel. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.